So 9%, that is 70 people. And for the private sector, 20%, that is 148 people. So therefore, through this briefing session, do take this opportunity to get better clarification, better understanding, or if there's any query pertaining to the registration process or the act, we hope that we can resolve during this session. So hopefully,
we cannot hear you.
The last part, bilang Puan. The last part.
Last part tak boleh dengar Puan.
Now okay. The last part.
No.
Oh, the last part. So I just repeat that actually for a briefing session. So maybe we can take this opportunity to get better clarification, better understanding. And if there's any inquiries, so pertaining to the registration process or the act, so we hope to solve during this session. So, and our hope is that more nutrition practitioners, especially in the private sector, will come aboard and be the registered nutritionists. So thank you.
Thank you, Puan. Thank you. So you gave us some from the history when we start and how the acts. I think I must say that this is a very important session also because this is not the first time we are having this engagement. We had previously 2 years ago, and also few series under Nutrition Society Malaysia. Also, we did it during the conference time. We had. During Puan Tan Yok Hua time as a pengarah in BSKB, we do many series. This is one of the major one because, as Puan said, we wanted to register every nutritionist in this country, qualified one. Yeah, not all anybody. We can just simply register because we don't want our profession need to be protected and our profession need to be properly regulated as well. So this act is a very important act, 774. So this is what we are trying. Nutrition Society Malaysia, this is our main duty also to make sure, ensure all nutritionists in this country registered person, so that like what Puan Fatima mentioned about the number, that's how to put and everything all, you will know. You get excited. These are all a very excitement. You get a certificate and then your number, your picture is there in the certificate, So I'm sure Mr. Kumar will add up more things on that and see how this thing can be materialized, because Dr. T started it many years ago. All these things in the IMR when they started on the AG, Allied Health, and thank God it's already been passed, and now it's already registration, and then we will have enforcement and monitoring and many more things in a lineup. So BSKB is trying their level best to get things done and move on. It's not easy task. As Puan Fatima said, the 16 profession, and one profession itself so difficult to manage. There's 16 there. You will listen to Mr. Kumar and you will know how things are working in BSKB, and many of us working together with them to support them, not only for nutrition profession, but when we were there as a committee member, we worked together for all the other professionals. So because we have to go together. This is the key word is as a teamwork, as a together. So without further ado, I would like to call Mr. Kumar. He was rushing, like I think he's either he's flying from Malacca or I'm not sure. Maybe Putrajaya got a landing airport there for him to land and come and join us. He was rushing from Malacca because he has some family matter to solve. Now he's here. I told him, please make sure you are here. He came and he's settled now. He's going to give us on the act overall and then the focus point for the registration as well. So I would like to call Mr. Saravana Kumar Maniam. I know him since my master's, very dedicated person in the forensic, and now he is in BSKB. Before the act was passed itself and gazetted itself, he was already working, and now as like what Puan Fatima mentioned as a backbone. You ask him any line, I guess he will talk about it in very easy ways. So let's call upon Mr. Sarona Kumar, or commonly we call him Kumar. He's a Ketua Penolong Pengarah in the Secretariat Majlis Bahagian Sains Kesihatan dan Bersekutu. Mr. Kumar, the floor is yours now.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Mahendran. It's a pleasure to be here. I made an effort to make sure I'm here. So it took me 1 hour 15 minutes to reach Putrajaya from like so was okay. Is my voice clear?
Loud and clear.
Okay. So actually saya dah prepare slide ni dalam bahasa Melayu, so I will be using bilingual. Wherever it need, I will explain in English, and then whatever important things I will put it in Malay. And I think most of the things people that are attending today already know about this act and so on. The reason why we are doing it again and again is to remind people who are not registering, who are just taking time to think whether need to register or not. They are still complaining whether it is necessary or not. It is a necessary. It is a government law, so everybody the registration is mandatory. And I need to remind you, the time for people to register under grandfathering is going to finish very soon, another 5 more months. After that, only qualification that is recognized by the council will be accepted. And then, but we do have a lot of people applying, trying their luck to be in gray area, people who are just doing short courses and so on, who are doing nutrition kind of thing, but they are more selling products and selling supplements and so on. So they claim to be a nutritionist. I think there are the people are always trying to get into the system, but we have a good Jawatan Kuasa Penilaian where they already put a very high benchmark for nutrition in Malaysia. Okay, so I was given 15. I just realized that I was given 15 minutes. I've prepared slide for almost 60 slides, so I won't go for many slides because most of the things Fatima already mentioned. I think Dr. T also will be repeating same thing, but he will go in depth on the scope of practice. I will be going on the legal aspect of registration. So okay, so as already mentioned before, 18 February was the act was gazetted. But the reason why the act was important is we want to establish council, which is menubuhkan Majlis Profession Kesihatan Bersekutu. Without the council, we don't have the registration today. So the council is the combination of all the allied health professionals representing the 16 professions. They are the one who gonna set the direction, the strategic vision and mission and all what need to be done for the allied health in Malaysia. And then after that, they are responsible to come up mengadakan peruntukan pendaftaran pengamal kesihatan. And then finally, once we are finished with the registration, with the perakuan amalan, with the temporary registration, temporary practice certificate, and so on, everything done, then only slowly we'll embark into mengawal sedia amalan. We will be regulating your practice, and then much more documents, much more guidance, much more guidelines will be issued. At this point of time, we are just focusing on the registration because it involves 16 type of profession. Almost we anticipate around 45,000, but sadly until today we just reached 27. Another 200-300 we will reach 28,000. But that's very sad because we supposed to be reaching at least 40,000 by 2025 January, where we have another 5 months to go for the transition period to end. Okay, very important things. I always emphasize this, why we need regulation. Because some of people like Dr. Mahendran, Dr. T, bahagian Pemakanan Puan Fatima, sebelum tu Puan Rokia Don, mantan pengarah, all are advocate. We need to regulate the practitioners. We need to regulate the practitioners. They are the one they push the act to be materialized today. But the thing is, people out there, especially in private sector, they don't seem to acknowledge the importance. Some of them are very cooperating, but some of them are not cooperating or not even bothered about the act existence. But it's never mind. Most of them are qualified practitioners. They don't want to register. It's another story. But we don't want people who don't have the qualification, don't have the competency, trying to be the profession, trying to service the patient, and then the patient end up in the most critical condition. That is what we want to prevent. So firstly, we want to sekatan ke atas pengamal kesihatan yang tidak berkelayakan, tidak kompeten, tidak terlatih. That is a very, very important thing. So that's why the qualification comes in. At this point of time, 3 years, we have transition period. We allow people who already practiced before the act, but subject to the approval by the Jawatan Kuasa Penilaian. So Jawatan Kuasa Penilaian is the what you call the gate into entering the professionals. So they will scrutinize the qualification, the competency, the documentation, and everything. And another thing is we want to uphold the standard. We want to make sure these are the minimum standard. Any practitioner who want to practice in Malaysia, these are the standard they need to comply. And we want them to be accountable to their actions. All this while they just do, and then after that anything goes wrong, they just keep quiet or just move on. Then they tell that I can't do much and so on. But with the act, even though it's a very interesting thing, like Dr. Mahin said, it's a very exciting thing and everything, it comes with responsibility. It comes with deterrence. The deterrence part is actually the council have the legal avenue to take action on the practitioner who actually deviate from the norm. So that's a very important aspect that we need to need to focus. And then another important part is the patient or the society or the person who are receiving the services now can complain and his voice can be heard. And all this while they end up their only choice they have is just complain. After that, if they go further, they can go civil suit. But most of the time, civil suit, you end up paying more than what you're supposed to get. So end up the patient say it's not worth it, I'm not going to pursue, I'm just going to move on. But that is something that we want to prevent. And then with this, the council will try to do it. Okay, another important thing is pengiktirafan kemahiran. We want to be allied health, especially allied health. The act regulate allied health in 6 different type of profession. So that means now the allied health are regulated, are recognized, and they are the healthcare practitioners in Malaysia. And now worldwide recognizing us. I have been receiving a lot of application for Malaysian practitioner who are pursuing their career in other countries like Australia, like New Zealand, like Canada. They are going there, like some of them went to Ireland, some of them went to UK. So the council there acknowledge this council and then apply and ask us to issue a letter verifying their qualification and competency. So this is what we are doing. Now you are internationally recognized. So that I take a few minutes to explain this so that people understand why we need the act. Okay, and then as a reminder, 1st of July 2020 hingga 30 June 2025 was the transition period. This is very important for the person who don't have the qualification in the field, but already have additional qualification, have competency, already have trainings and relevant trainings, and they are competent to become a nutritionist. They are the one who need to be really alert on this date, because after 30th June 2025, without qualification, recognized qualification, you cannot register. So you only have another 5 more months to register. Please make sure at least you put in your application so that your application can be processed. Legally, you are within the timeline. Okay, and then these are the few dates, important dates. When we launched the Act in 2016, the Act contained a second schedule which lists out all the 23 profession, and then we did the revision. So important thing is maybe nutrition didn't change, but there are some professions have changed. So the list, the schedule that you're referring should be the one that is latest, which is in 2022. No more 16. 16 is become obsolete. Okay. Other than that, okay, as mentioned, where do we have the power? Yes, we have the power. 1st of July, the Act is enforced. So that means the Act is enforced as any Act in the country. It is enforceable. Action can be taken and so on. We postpone the enforcement until the date 30th June 2025 because we want to give enough time for practitioner to actually register, and then they take the action, comply with the requirement and so on. Okay, and we have produced a few documents like the Act itself, we have the regulation on fee. So you cannot question whether we're charging the fee and so on. The fee is actually endorsed and it's a legal matter. And then we have pindaan jadual kedua. So you should refer to this jadual. And then we have garis panduan pendaftaran. All these things can be obtained from the website. We just write Google MAHPC. When you Google MAHPC, the first on the list is the website that we list out all the documents you needed in order for you to assist through registration. But for registration, you need to use another website, which is MHPS. Okay, I think that later Dr. T will also touch on that. Okay, so the fee, so there's no question, all the fee is there, 50 ringgit for application and 100 ringgit for registration, another 50 ringgit for Prakuan Amalan, which is the practices certificate, which we're going to launch very, very soon. Just keep alert. We are waiting for the green light from the IT unit in order for them to rectify the online payment thing. Once they settle with that, and if the system is all accepted and approved, then we have a green light to go live. So when we go live, we will announce it, and then you just go in, key in, and then you get your practices certificate. So that will happen very soon. Little bit about the council. So the council's members are stipulated in the Act under the Section 5. As you know, the chairman is the Director General of Health himself, and the deputy chairman is actually also the registrar pendaftar pengarah sains kesihatan bersekutu, which is currently we have the 4th pengarah, which is Puan L. Mageshwari. Most of you know, she's a dietitian and she's very well known in the industry. And she's the current pengarah, replacing Puan Farina, which was a nutritionist before this. Before that was Puan Haja Cik Rohani. So these are the 3 persons who actually was appointed as the deputy chairman and also the registrar. Dato' Tan managed to pass the legislation in the parliament, so she did the biggest bulk, and then the baton was handed over to Puan Cik, Puan Farina, and now Puan Mageshwari. And for your information, Dato' always call me and ask about this registration and so on, and she still volunteered to help. If she could help, she always say, give me something, I will help. I will try to talk to people. So that kind of what do you call attitude, I think we should admire, and then we should appreciate. Okay, and then we have also Anggota Majlis, all listed in the 16th schedule, all Lantikan Menteri. So only the 1 and 2 is ex officio, others all Lantikan Menteri. The secretary is still in the process. Maybe in mid-year they will appoint the secretary. Okay, so these are just for your view. Puan L. Mageshwari, who are not aware of her, she's the current director and the registrar. Okay, so we already have 2 council. The first council was formed during the COVID time, and then they are the one who are responsible to come up with that time they have a very difficult time to decide for the 23 profession and try to make it 16. And then when the second council formed, they are more on making a decision in order for us to move on to make sure everybody is registered. Okay, so I no need to introduce the man in nutrition. So I learned a lot from Dr. T. Dr. T was there from day one, been helping us, been giving us a very good idea and so on. I think he's still contributing to the society, especially for the nutrition. And I hope everybody will actually follow what is advised. So he's the expert in the field. So he mewakili sektor swasta as ahli pemakanan. So next round 2026, anybody interested, they can do the application when we actually issue. Okay, this is the fungsi. So all the fungsi we have: mendaftar, mulakan perakuan amalan, and the second one menentukan kelayakan, third one prasyarat, mengawasi amalan etika, which we're going to do later. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 will come in later part when we already finish with the registration and also perakuan amalan. We still need more time to settle on that. Okay, so this is the tabir ubus, the majlis. Okay, as many people try to compare to MMC or MDC. MMC is a corporatized body. That means they are outside the government. But for allied health is inside the government. It's still under the purview of Ministry of Health. And majlis, this majlis is under the Bahagian Sains Kesihatan Bersekutu. That's why the pengarah Bahagian Sains Bersekutu automatically will become the deputy director and also registrar. So the fund and everything, the operational, everything comes from BSKB, from Ministry of Health. We don't receive the money that we collect from you. We almost collected almost 5 million. None of them reached us. It went to the government coffer, what do you call it, Perbendaraan. Okay. I'm actually at the secretariat under the Pendaftaran, so anything you can confirm me. Okay, as mentioned before, Ali Pemakanan 6, so this is the newest 16 profession, just for your information. And peruntukan perakuan. So these are the things that I want to mention because I want to put it on the legal matters. Why? We have Pendaftaran during this time. We have two sections that is very important. Section 16 and Section 46. What is the difference? Section 16 is a new practitioner. Whoever qualified and then enter the service, you must be a Malaysian. You must have kelayakan dikira oleh majlis in order to apply. If you don't have the qualification, then in the transition period, we will send it to the committee to evaluate whether you were allowed and so on. Okay. For the one that practicing now, before the Act of Council, you will come under the 46 if you don't have the basic degree. But you might have a master's, might have a PhD in the field, and you're already practicing. So you all will come under 46. Okay. In future, whether we want to consider master's and PhD, that one we will leave it to next session. We will discuss in the council and so on, depending on the input from the council member and also the committee. So there have been suggestions from other professions that we should expand our kelayakan, don't rigid with the entry level, but that is still very early stage. Now we just focus on the basic qualification. Okay. And as all of you know, you need to pay 50 ringgit for the processing fee and then 100 when it's approved. So when you pay 50 ringgit, I know most of you are waiting, and then and sometimes you will be asking why my application is not processed and so on. The thing is, our system capture according to them who applied first. So whoever applied, we're going to finish it. We have a backlog around 1,000 plus. We are trying to finish it. We already approved almost 27,900 plus. We already approved. So that means within these 1st of July 2022 until today, 27,000 practitioner we have already processed and then approved. So the other 1,000 is in pending. I foresee that more people coming soon. They are just waiting for the last minute. Or they're waiting for the ampao from Chinese New Year in future, then they can use that money to pay for this. Okay, but for the practitioner who don't have the qualification, important, you don't get, but you have been practicing, you can prove, you can give evidence on that. Your borang pengesahan amalan is very important. I think Dr. T will mention about that later, detail. I'll let him mention about it. Okay, perakuan amalan and pembaruan. Perakuan amalan, as I said, we are not, we supposed to launch in the first quarter of 2025. We want to register everybody first, then only we launch. We still have some more work to do. Once it's ready, we will do announcement, and then we will open for all. It won't be staggered. It will be open for all practitioners at one go. So that is what we are trying to do. And this practicing certificate is very important. You should get it because that is your license to practice. Registration is you qualified. The council recognize you as a practitioner. But in order for you to practice, you need to have perakuan amalan. So that's another process which is renewable. You need to renew every 2 years. And our renewal will be different from other council, because other council, they follow calendar year, where at the end of the year, before December, you make a payment, then it will count for the next year. Ours follow your date. So let's say you register in March 2025. So March 2026 will be 1 year. March 2027 will be second year. So just 1 minute or 1 second before the time end, you need to apply. If you apply after that, what will happen? Automatically penalty will be given to you, and then you need to pay with the penalty. Denda lah, there's a denda. So we don't follow 30 days before because we do all online. So we go to the 12 midnight. So if you register, you made the payment before the 12 midnight, and then we will capture that, and then that will be, if you go beyond that, then a penalty will be there. Okay. And other than that, a reminder, even though you are registered, some of them think register enough lah, then we can practice, nobody gonna catch us. See, we not need to catch you. Your profession, your peer group will actually identify you and then tell us. I've been receiving a lot of complaints from Dr. Mahe, Dr. T, all the practitioners are emailing me, say this person not nutrition. He putting as though he's portraying himself as a nutrition. Please find out what he's doing. Please send your pengakuasa. And mind you, we have pengakuasa, they have the rights to enter the permis. So they can actually come and then ask you a lot of things because they are being given the power of do that. So make sure you have practice certificate when we launch. So at this moment, no issue for you. Okay. If you practice without practicing certificate, then you are liable for 50,000 ringgit. Then up to 50,000 ringgit or jail term around 2 years. So that is the thing. We are not being harsh. We are just informing. You just follow what is. But if you decided this is not fair, then maybe it's the right time to change different profession. No more that profession in Malaysia. Okay, so it's nobody is forcing you to pay to practice in this field. If you intend to practice, you want to serve the public, and then you need to comply with the regulation. Okay, it's similar to any regulation in Malaysia. Okay, and then similarly, first time you need to pay 50 ringgit for processing. We will process, we verify that you are working which sector and so on. Because government sector will be, you need to only pay 50 ringgit. But for the 200 ringgit, we will be exempted because we are exempted because the government will actually pay for them. Therefore, we're not going to pay and then send and reimburse back, and then there's a troublesome. So we will exempt the thing because that will be fall under the government responsibility. For the private sector and agency who are not within the purview of the Ministry of Finance, that is up to your organization how they're going to do it, whether they want to pay for you and so on. It's up to them. We are not going to interfere on that. We are not going to issue anything that you need to be reimbursed and so on. It is up to the practitioner and the employer agreement. And you go back and see your agreement and see what are the perks that you have. Okay, so don't come to us and say these people are not reimbursing and so on. We don't have any jurisdiction on that. Okay. And for this, I believe there are some practitioners who are foreigner working in Malaysia may not be aware that they need to be registered as a nutritionist. I'm not sure whether they are nutritionists, maybe the lecturers. Okay, it depends whether you want to register as a lecturer or not. It depends on your scope of practice. If your scope of teaching requires you to practice, then you need to register. So in that part, I think Dr. T will explain further on that. I won't go touch. But I just want to highlight, in Malaysia, if you are being in Malaysia in order to mengajar atau to lecture or menjalankan pendidikan, to do research or to join any master program, PhD program, in any event that activity, that scope requires you to become a practitioner, meet patient, deliver service, then you need to register. It is not that if you want to be a lecturer, you must register. If your scope requires you to practice, then you need to register. Similarly, you have kemahiran. Maybe you want to bring an expert from overseas to come and work in here 6 months, 1 year, and you need to register this. If they're coming here for conferences, to deliver symposium lectures, keynote, and no need to register because they come just to impart knowledge. If they're coming as a practitioner, they are delivering their services, and then they need to practice. Okay, they need to register as a TPC. TPC, they have to come straight to us. There are two types. If you are employed by any organization, the organization need to apply through immigration, and then they come to us. If you are self-employed or you are PR or you are dependent social pass and so on, you come straight to us. You come to BSKB in Putrajaya, we will assist you. Okay. and then they need to pay 150 and 300. So I'll go quickly. Start 2025. If the foreigner want to come in Malaysia, if you are non-Malaysian wish to work in Malaysia, you need to be registered in your home country. You need to have a registration board in your country. We need your registration. Without registration, if you are not registered and so on, and let's say the country does not legally regulate the practitioner, then we go for the national society or national association which represent the profession. So we will go to the authority body. So if it's not the government body, then we go to the association body. If not the association body, then maybe we go to the territorial kind of thing, like in Taiwan, or they go by district and so on, or they go by local council and so on. So we will accept as long there is a valid authority that that actually register you and then can watch for you, can issue a letter of good standing. Okay, so that's the only thing that is gonna change. We're gonna and make sure minimum 3 years before coming Malaysia. They must have a minimum 3 years. And then we will send this application to the committee to evaluate. It is not like once you fulfill that, automatically you get the registration. We will send to the committee. So the committee will decide for that. This is only for TPC. Okay, so for ahli pemakanan, sarjana muda. Entry level is sarjana muda. At this point of time, sarjana muda. Minimum sarjana muda, then you can enter. If you have master's, PhD, that, as I told you, that part we never discussed yet. That one later part, when once we have done everything, we will only visit where there's a need for it. Okay, and then documentation that you need. I think this one also, Dr. Mainly, there are 4 things. If you are coming back from overseas, you need 5 things. You've been practicing in overseas, then 5 things. If not, 4 things only. Latihan, sijil, on-job training, any evidence that you're practicing. Borang pengesahan amalan, if you don't have the qualification. Salinan kelayakan akademik. If you are new student, new graduate, you come in, you don't need to isi borang pengesahan amalan because your qualification should be listed in the act lah, and then it's easy for us to check. Okay, and then we need a gambar ukuran pasport. Gambaran ukuran pasport. I can actually go into the system and then see nutrition, a lot of nutrition. I know you are very beautiful, very attractive and so on. We don't want your selfie photos. We don't want your full body photos and so on. We just want passport photo. I don't know why Malaysian doesn't understand passport photos. But when you go immigration, they understand. When you come to registration, they don't understand. They just upload any picture inside the thing. So most of the time, if we rejected, we ask them. Some of them still adamant don't want to do. Okay, so this is the manual. Okay, you can look at the manual later, that system. And once you register, you'll get a certificate like this. So I think the certificate is where it's mentioned. So this will be the interface in the system. This will be the certificate issued. Okay, so when you scan the QR code, we will see the information. So once we get the information, we know lah, you are registered practitioner or not. Okay, so we issued this one. This is a panduan penggunaan CHOP. Panduan only. We never put a compulsory. Anyone want to follow. If you want to follow like this. If you don't want to follow, then don't use it. Okay, so we only make sure that your name and your number should be in that format. And whether you want to write the ahli pemakanan or you want to write ketua penolong in the government sector and so on, or salesperson manager, up to you. We just regulate the numbers on here. Okay, and as I mentioned by Puan Fatima just now, you are under 6 PC NUTR. So once we see NUTR, we know you are a nutritionist. So these are the documents that I need to access. So this is the current data until 15 January. I think previously mentioned until 31st December. This is until 15 January, the latest data we have. We have government 100%, pengisian 490, and then pendaftaran 500. This is include the MyStep and also the contract, and agency line 26. Sector IPT 70 people, swasta 153. So swasta, that's why the society need to come in and then evaluate. I'm not sure how many people out there. Many of them not registered yet. If they are more than this lah. Okay, so then hopefully you are there. Last few things only I'm gonna touch. Okay, council have the power to take disciplinary action on you. So refer section 25. please read Section 35. This all the power given to the council to take action, especially number one, number two, if you do anything, problem. Okay, and then once you have the council have the disciplinary power, what will happen is people can make complaint on you. Once we receive the complaint, we do the investigation and we see whether you did something wrong or not. If they say your case is being proven without beyond reasonable doubt, then the council will take action, and then the action will be re-register you from the daftar, or suspend you, or reprimand you. So these are the three actions that the council can take. This is only for the pengamal berdaftar. If let's say the pengamal is tidak berdaftar, they will fall under kesalahan-kesalahan. So there are few kesalahan sekatan ke atas pengamal tidak berdaftar. So under section 33, you are not allowed to practice without registering. If you practice without registering, you will be liable for legal action. So the council can, not the council, the enforcement people will take people. And last one, section 36, the employer also liable. If you employ somebody, you already employed like a nutritionist, you never ask them to register, or you just ignore, you're not sure whether they need to register, you also liable, you also will be taking action. So the difference is the quantum of penalty. If you're individual, 50,000. If it's organization, 100,000. Okay. So other than that, I think, okay. So final slide, I will complete with this. Why we need registration? The implikasi of Akta 774 ialah dia akan set the standard, dia akan set the peraturan. So now, when you practice, you have some kind of a regulation that regulate your practice. So you need to know. Then you need to be competent in the practice and always maintain your competency. So by doing this, we will actually melindungi orang ramai dengan mengambil tindakan disiplin jika pengamal-pengamal ini tidak memenuhi syarat ataupun telah melakukan kesalahan. Okay, so bukan itu saja, we will also control the pengajian. So penetapan. Selepas ini, semua penetapan standard program dan akreditasi program adalah di bawah tanggungjawab majlis, tetapi prosesnya masih di MQA, tetapi penilaian di bawah majlis. Okay, so then everything must go through majlis, and we will vet through it and then see. So in this case, we will control end to end. We control the education, we control the practitioner. So now the system is in place. So if the system in place, perkhidmatan kesihatan Malaysia will be good quality dan terjamin. Then whenever we reach, for example, we go to a nutritionist, a registered nutritionist will always follow the what is needed to be done, and according to the regulation, the scope of practice, and also the guidelines. So with that, I think I remind again, 30th June 2025 is your time to register. Okay, that's all. Thank you very much. I'll pass back to Dr. Makin.
Thanks, Encik Kumar. Thank you. I know a lot of things to digest and everything, but I think that he have put the gist of it, take it out, the abstract of it from the Act 774, and make it easier to simplify it to us to understand. So please take note. There is a few things that he have mentioned about the registration, what to do, and as well as key point for those who are already practicing and those who are not practicing. Well, keep all your questions. I see a lot of questions is coming in, and some part of it is been answered by Puan Jamila from also BSKB. But you can keep writing, and we will have a discussion further. Without further ado, I would like to call Dr. T. Isyong, the also past president of Nutrition Society of Malaysia, who well versed with this entire act, and he has also served the council for twice, and he's a member of the council now, to talk on to us the scope of nutritionists and the guideline for the registration. Again, because very important, yeah, when we say registration, we need to follow the instruction properly. If not, delay can come in. So, Dr. T, is yours now.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Mayan. I will share my slides. I think this one. This one.
Me to share, Dr. T.
Share. I think okay.
Okay.
You can see, right? Yeah.
Yes, Dr. T.
Yeah. Thank you. Cik Kumar also has given very detailed explanation of the Act 774 and importance and purpose. So I will focus more on, if you intend to register as a nutritionist, that's the purpose of this briefing session. And there are many people out there who declares that he's a nutritionist, but he's not appropriately qualified. He talks to the consumer, he sells different products to the consumer, to the public, he practices, though we want to stop that kind of practices. On the other hand, if we have this act, then it upgrades the profession of nutritionist. It's a recognized professional under the government act, protects you in various ways. So that's again reiterate purpose of this act and the registration. So let me go on then. I just one or two slides to repeat what Encik Kumar has mentioned. So one of the 16 professions is ahli pemakanan, nutritionist. So we are legally registered by the act, a profession. And what is the minimum requirement for registration? Encik Kumar also mentioned this. So sarjana muda, ijazah sarjana muda, Bachelor of Science in Nutrition. That's the minimum qualification. So you must have that qualification. Even if a PhD in the field of nutrition, that may not be what we want for registration. So what it means is a bachelor degree in the field of nutrition or equivalent recognized by the council. We will explain a bit more detail on this. So there's a list of recognized degrees by the Majlis. So far at this time is 9 degrees, 9 qualifications. Is in this slide here. This is actually extracted from the BSKB website, the Majlis website, UKM, USM, UPM, MSU, IMU, and UCSI, UNISA, and UMS, and University of Nottingham from 2022-23 intake onwards. So I think it's important to share what does the Majlis consider as practicing as a nutritionist. So here we have to explain that a little bit of description of what a nutritionist does. He advocates, promotes nutritional well-being. Let me move this aside. He advocates and promotes nutritional well-being of the individual or groups of people or population. Why? For what purpose? Prevent and control nutrition-related diseases. So his core task is prevention and control of nutrition-related diseases. He could advocate to other organizations. He could advocate to other people, to groups of people, to improve professionally, to prevent diseases. And then later on, I'll share with you a dietitian is quite different from a nutritionist job. So how does a nutritionist do that? Prevention and control of nutrition-related diseases through involved in policies and regulations, involved in developing policies and regulations, involved in promotion, education to individuals or groups of people, involved in training of people, could be students, could be undergraduates, involved in assessment and monitoring of nutritional status, involved in nutrition interventions, conducting nutrition promotion activities, nutrition programs, involved in consultancy, it could be your own consultancy, involved in research and development. So you can see that there's a whole various setting, various activities that a nutritionist could practice. So when you apply, later on we'll talk about the process of applying, make sure that you're fit into one of these, and your core business is prevention and control of nutrition-related diseases. So just to share with you, a dietitian focuses on assessing, diagnosing, and treating dietary problems using medical nutrition therapy. So a very clear difference here. The dietitian, its core business is treating nutritional problems, dietary problems using medical nutrition therapy. A nutritionist focuses on prevention of diseases, or nutritional diseases. So a dietitian focus on managing disease conditions, diabetic patient, obese patient, persons with heart disease, hypertension, and so on, goes and see a dietitian, goes see a physician, then the physician may work with the dietitian, and the dietitian will provide medical nutrition therapy. Then the dietitian and the physician will help the patient to manage the disease condition, so to promote health of that patient. So that is the main difference between the two, and we must be very clear. If you're intending to register as a nutritionist, then this slide will apply to you and not this slide. So I will just share with you steps for applying for registration as a nutritionist. We get many questions from our members, from other non-members. So I just also highlight here the transitional period ends 30th June. I think Puan Fatima highlighted that, Jikuma highlighted that. What does that mean? This is particularly for those who are not within one of the 9 recognized degrees. Yeah? Then if you have other degrees and you do not register before 30th of June, you cannot register to practice as a nutrition anymore. So this is a transition period, and the grace period, you may want to call it, for anyone practicing now as a nutritionist, but you do not have one of the 9 degrees, but you have been practicing, you want to continue to practice, then you must register now within this window of before 30th June. So we view this briefing exercise as very important, especially you see the numbers who are registering from the private sector is not great at all. We're very concerned, but after that, you cannot come and say that, oh, I missed that deadline. I don't know that you have to register. There will be no more excuse after that. We have tried all many ways to inform people that those without not having one of the 9 degrees, especially important to register within this grace period. So I think Jikuma also mentioned, register through this MHPS website. And here, if you bear with me, for those who are already familiar, already registered, you bear with me. There are people who still have problem registering. So you must first sign up for an account. And then when you sign up, you create your account, you register, you add profession of nutritionist. Then when you come, you must choose your institution and qualification. And first you must check whether your degree that you have is among one of the 9 qualifications that I shared with you earlier on. Yeah, I will repeat the slide later on. So you can also download the list later on from the NSM website. So if it is in one of the 9 degrees, then you can scroll down and find that, for example, UKM nutrition degree, and click on that. Click on UKM, click on the Bachelor of Science Nutrition or UPM or UMS as appropriate. The complication will come if your degree is not in that list. So what do? You scroll down, don't choose a university, choose a degree, but click on registration under section 46. So this is the transition pathway. Some people call it the grandfather clause. So giving room, giving opportunity for people who are practicing now and want to continue to practice. So this is the pathway to register. So click institution, registration under section 46, transition pathway. For qualification, click the same item, registration under section 46, transition pathway. Yeah. So I also want to add a reminder here that the degree that you're offering is not one of 9, right? But if you have a degree, it must be related to food and nutrition, and you will submit your qualification, but your degree will be reviewed by a committee appointed by the Majlis. So your application will be transferred, forwarded to this committee. The committee will then review your degree, whether we find it appropriate, look at your transcript, look at your course details, and see whether it meets the requirement of registration as a nutritionist under the Malaysian requirement. Yeah. So one very important thing that I would like to highlight is that you will be approved only if your job scope is related to nutrition. That's why I take the trouble to share with you description of a nutritionist, job scope of a nutritionist. You must be practicing in the area of nutrition. Then only you can be considered for registration. If you have stopped working as a nutritionist, go on to other areas, then you are not eligible to register as a nutritionist. I see one question like that in the question box. So in line with the description, that job scope that I mentioned later on, and then you must also pay attention to the practice verification form, which I'll come to that later on, very quickly. So this is a list of 9 recognized courses, 9 degrees, and then you will go on. You must be prepared to upload the documents, get all these documents ready. Don't start registration, then go and bongkar your whole house, try to find your degree and so on. You can't find it, So get a basic degree, one of the 9 degrees or other degrees as an alternative. So this must be certified by appropriate authorities, for example, Commissioner of Oath, Pesuruhjaya, Sumpah. Then you must also complete the practice verification form. I will speak about this very briefly in a short while, and then I will share with you some notes about completing this practice verification form, because several questions where we receive comments is about this verification form. I don't know how to fill it. I don't know who can verify for me. Then Chukuma already talked about the fee. Don't wait for the ang pao. Make your payment now. Then this is the form. Quickly share with you. This is the first part. So you are employed or you are self-employed. You quickly click here as the first step. Then part A, if you are employed under an organization, you can answer all the questions quite easily. Organization name and so on. If you're self-employed, you have your own practice. So indicate when you started your practice, name and address of your practice. So we want to have a permanent address of your practice. I think we discussed in the Majlis several times, and I think we have come to an agreement in Jekuma that we want people to register your practice with the SSM, Suruhanjaya Syarikat Malaysia. Register your business, get a name and address, and of course pay income tax and so on. So this is the website of the SSM. Quite easy to do. I believe you can now do online. I believe so. And you need to verify, go to some kiosk and verify some things. I just renew my practice also. Can also do in a kiosk. I do not go to SSM office. So this is part A. Should be quite straightforward to complete. And if you practice self-practice, also you must fill in this part, your business. Then you take which focus area in nutrition, public health or clinical or laboratory based. So click as appropriate. Then here, this may not be applicable to us, those who are practicing in early science, Makmal Perubatan. I don't believe any one of us is doing this. And then describe your job scope. So I think here, I would suggest it's not compulsory to use bullet points for these various activities. Try to be clear as possible, and again remind you that go back to the job scope that I presented just now, and make sure you're working within that job scope description of a nutritionist. And you can still find this document in the NSM website. So if you can complete this clearly, then helps the Secretariat, BSKB Secretariat Puan Jamila and colleagues, and how to evaluate your application. For this part, the verifier, so here, employer, if you're employed by an organization, employer is very clear. Could be your head of department, or could be HR department, or you can also have alternative verifier, because if you're self-employed, you are your own boss, so you do not have. So for this part on D, who can serve as a verifier, employer, or if you work for yourself, these are the various options available. But I can also share with you that, for those employed, it's quite straightforward. The employer becomes that. But for those self-employed, if you have your own practice, several options there in that footnote at the bottom of the form. If you are an active member of NSM, you can also request President of NSM to consider to be a verifier. Of course, the president of NSM will then look through your records, your practice, and be convinced that you are indeed in practicing as a nutritionist. Then only he can sign for you, verifying that you have been practicing as a nutritionist. You can then use that. You can then use that. You can then use that. President NSM will sign here, President NSM, then you can use that, submit, to upload onto the registration process. I've just 2 more slides here, and this is the NSM website. Go to NSM website under Help Professionals tab. There are various legal documents here, beyond what we are briefing, sharing today, various documents like the Act itself, and the regulations for fees, the amendment to the Act, regulation, registration process, and so on, practice of nutritionists, other guidance documents. For example, this step-by-step procedure is also an NSM website. So we can have some discussion after this. I'll wind up in a few seconds. But if you should miss out this Q&A session, if you want more information, go to NSM website. There's a Q&A session compiled, which I compiled from the previous session, which we did in June with Mr. Guma also. Then there were about 100 questions and answers there. So you can also go to there and find the question that you need answers. So I believe that is my last slide. Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Mine. Yeah.
Thanks, Dr. T. A very comprehensive way of explaining how a nutritionist in Malaysia can register and the practicing where they are and the definition as well. Now, without further ado, let's move on to the question and answer. Some of the question and answer has been answered also in the chat. If you think there is some more question that need to be asked, you can let me know. Please raise up your hand and we can see and we allow you to unmute and then you can ask the question. There's Dr. T or Mr. Kumar or Puan Fatima Sulong can able to assist you in answering this question as well. Any? If not, we will go in the what is in the chat box. Is the questions? Okay.
Let's see.
So one of the question, yeah.
Yeah.
One of the question is applied since 2024. There's no reply. I guess this one, I think Puan Jamila just put there. Please email to the Majlis. They will do that reply to you all. So immediately email them.
Yeah.
Next, may I know if I'm practicing nutritionist in the year 2025, 2015, but after that I'm working in marketing, sales. Can I still apply for this?
I think I replied that,
Right.
Dr. Mandan. If we have stopped practicing in the area of nutrition, then why would you want to register?
True.
There's no need to register. You may not be accepted also.
Yeah. Next. May I know if I graduated from foreign university, meet the requirement for application? If the qualification is from overseas university, can we go about this and registration under Section 46 transitional pathway?
Okay, for this, maybe I can answer a bit. Okay, we at this moment, we only release Malaysian recognized qualification.
Yeah.
Overseas qualification, we still withholding because there will be a mechanism for evaluating overseas qualification. So we will be issuing some guidance on that in couple of months. And so if let's say you are coming back from overseas with a qualification, so you need to get the qualification being recognized by the council first. Once the exercise done, then only you can apply to the system. And why we don't list yet the for overseas qualification, because we're still in the transition period. We have a lot of people are applying, so we want them to apply first, everything done, then only we're going to issue. So we may not cover all the lists of qualification from overseas because we only will cover the country that the government have sent student, and there are a few criteria that we have already endorsed in the council. So we will base on that. And if let's say in future when we release the list, if your qualification not in the list, you want to practice, you can always apply to the council for your qualification to be recognized first. And that involves MQA process also. So there will be some specific guidance on that, and in a couple of weeks we will release.
Okay, next. Fresh graduate who just land a job, what to feel the experience part.
Okay, this one, when you apply in the system, there's a requirement button saying that are you current practitioner or new? So if you click new, then you no need to insert any information on the experience. It will be allowing you to go further. So if you have difficulty, sometimes we do see some of them are experiencing some hiccup in the system. Sometimes it can go through, sometimes cannot go through. You're always welcome to email us, then we will assist you specifically.
Okay. Could you elaborate on document 1 and document 2? I don't know what the document is that. And the job. Okay.
Okay. For document 1, okay, you see, during the transition period, we are giving the registration to whoever been practicing in the field. So some of them may not have qualification recognized by the council. So for them that don't have qualification recognized by council, by default they might have another qualification, or they might have other similar kind of qualification from overseas and so on. So for them to be accepted, they need to produce that they are actually acquired some training in the nutrition field. They have been engaging with the CPD points and so on. They are being properly trained in the STEAM before they become a practitioner. Because you cannot have, for example, I have a degree in microbiology. Suddenly I go there and become a nutritionist. Cannot. You need to go some training. You need to have some kind of courses to attend in order for you to gain the knowledge, the skill, and also the competency. So that is the evidence that we want. I understand some of you may not have it in your hand. It's okay. Whatever you have, you can provide. If let's say the committee evaluate the documentation, they are happy with the documentation, they might give you registration. If you are not happy, they will ask for further documentation. We will ask from you. If let's say you cannot comply with the requirement, you may not be given the registration, since you are maybe not fit in the sense not competent enough to be a nutrition in Malaysia. All this while you might be doing 1 or 2 activity similar to nutrition, that you are claiming yourself a full-fledged nutrition. Why we not allowing some small portion to be registered as a nutritionist? Because if they can register, then this person who have spent 4 years studying properly in the industry, what going to happen to them? Okay, so there must be a proper evaluation and proper standard to be in place. So hopefully you can provide that. So for you, you need to have the Borang Pengesahan Amalan as detailed explained as I think Dr. T already explained. So if you have any problem, always welcome to send us email, or you can visit us in BSKB.
Next. Perlu disahkan. I think Dr. T already mentioned about it.
Okay, Dr. Mahindan, I need to answer this. Everybody keep on calling us and scolding us and asking why I need to sahkan. How I know it's a forged document or not?
Yeah.
See, it's a legal requirement. Once you dah pergi sahkan and you send the document to us, you are legally can be charged if I prove that document is wrong. But if let's say you send me a document tidak disahkan, legally I cannot submit the document because I accepted a document which is questionable. So that's the requirement for you to verify it, because you are sending me a copy. even though it's a scan, it's still a copy. It is not the original document. That's why we need the so if you can go to pegawai kerajaan, Pesuruhjaya Sumpah, yes, they might charge you. It's up to you. There are options. We never force you must go to Pesuruhjaya Sumpah. There are a lot of nutrition in government service. You can be friend with them or join society. They can help you.
Okay. Thanks. Thanks, Encik Umar. Okay, do we need to attach offer letter and job description, practicing verification form? I guess that's important to submit.
Whatever document that you think
Yeah.
it is relevant, you can submit.
Yeah. Next.
Actually,
Yes.
actually, for your own convenience, for your own experience, submit lah, you know.
Yeah.
It expedites the whole process.
True.
Yeah.
It give you a reflection of what you are doing. It's easier for
Yeah.
people to evaluate
No
behind.
questions later on, ding dong to and fro.
Yeah.
The jawatan kuasa will have an easy job then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. Next. Ahli Pemakanan degree in food technology. Oh. And bukan recognized university, tapi saya graduate.
I thought I
food
already
tech.
mentioned that, right?
Yeah.
If you're not in one of the 9 degrees, you
Yeah.
are from in technology, food science and nutrition technology, then it depends on your job scope. What are you doing in Watson? Yeah, so if you're just doing a little bit of a nutrition job, you will not get recognized. For example, what Chekong mentioned, yeah, you're not a full-fledged nutritionist.
Yeah.
So submit, just can try. Nobody stop you from trying. Submit your degree and then submit your job scope. That's where explanation is important. Prove what you're doing. Your boss in the Watson must explain clearly. Then need to sign that. Need to maybe accurate information was provided because your boss is also at risk of giving false information also. So I think submit and see.
Next, please. Yeah,
There's one more question di bawah tadi.
Oh, the same.
Kalau bukan, okay.
Recognized university. May I know how to register if studied course has not fallen under the same thing?
But it's the same thing, right? Yeah. The same question.
And if, as Dr. T mentioned, you submit if you think you want to try a luck, but we will really have to vet through the whole entire course. As like what Mr. Kumar said, up to transcript we check. We do check all that because we need to verify your courses are correct or not. Yeah. I hold a bachelor in nutrition science, but did not practice as a nutrition in the private sector. Am I still qualified to register? Yes.
Where is he practicing? Is he practicing?
It's not practice.
He's not practicing not in the private sector, then not practice at all, then why would you want to register, right?
If you are not keen to practice, you don't need to register.
Yeah.
Yes, true.
Yeah.
Nobody is compelling you to register since you have the qualification.
True. Okay. I'm studying overseas. I graduated from qualified nutrition as listed. It's better to register now because it's already registration is going on. First degree is counted, isn't it, Dr. T?
Yeah, first degree. You're doing PhD, master's, all is added, value added. But if you're already in one of the listed courses, you can register. Why do you have to wait? Yeah. They already responded, right?
Yeah. Can dietitian and nutrition both be registered together? Same certificate? Yeah.
I think it's talking about, can I register as a nutritionist, as a dietitian at the same time? Not at this time. It's not in practice in this country for AHP. Yeah.
What practice in Taiwan is not same.
Not the same here. Yeah, each country have their own practice. Yeah.
Right. Next, may I know if an employer hired a nutritionist but didn't register under the Act, will employer get
Cik Kumar.
already mentioned it?
Please refer section 36. Section 36 of the Act clearly state.
Yeah. So
if
you can be the whistleblower. You can
he's employing nutritionists, and that nutrition is registered and all that. But he himself, if he's not practicing as a nutritionist, why would he want to register? But he must employ properly qualified, registered nutritionist. The Acts about that, Encik Kumar already mentioned. The employer responsible for employing registered nutritionists, but he himself is not practicing. He does not have to.
Any more else? They're cutting and pasting short.
Pasting.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. Can be the verifier is a dentist.
huh? Oh.
Okay.
I
Okay,
think this one, verify you for the certificate, right? That's right.
Oh,
Okay.
verifier for the, bukan verifier for the practice.
Certificate can be any government.
Yeah, NEC, Division 1 officer.
Yeah, but government, not private.
Yeah,
Private can't, unless you go to commercial or oats, yeah. In the food industry, which position to encourage to apply, right? Can't understand this question.
if this person in the food industry is practicing as a job scope of a nutritionist and he wants to call himself a nutritionist, he must register. Yeah. If he's working in the private sector, he's not working on food, he's looking at technologies of processing of canned foods or processing of food, looking into food additives, processing method. Why would you want to register? No need to register, right? If he practices in the job scope of a nutritionist, he looks at the product, nutritional value of the product, he looks at the advertisement for the company, he makes sure the product complies with the regulation, nutrition labeling and claims. He also gives talks to his staff or the public or consumers on healthy eating, active living. Then he needs to register. He can then call himself as a nutritionist in the food industry sector.
Yeah. Next, please. A nutritionist in the provided counseling. Just whenever misleading information proven fraud. Disease.
Huh?
It's a legal question.
Has provided nutrition counseling or information referring to
FDA.
FDA is Food and Drug Authority of USA, is it? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
WHO or books, wherever misleading information might be not so clear.
I think if he's practicing nutritionist, but he give a wrong information.
Wrong information.
So you can be taken charge if there is a complaint on that.
Yeah, Encik Kumar, I think correctly, Mr. Kumar, you mentioned about the enforcement of the act later on. We are still working on the regulations and so on. So after that, public can complain about you. You call yourself a nutritionist, but you're not practicing correctly. Or your peers can also complain about you. You're practicing wrongly or advertising wrongly or so on. So that part, all practicing nutritionists must act professionally within the required professional code of conduct that Majlis is coming out very soon, and it's mandatory to follow that professional code of conduct. So if this person, if you feel that your peer, your colleague is not practicing correctly, you can inform the council. I think Encik Kumar already mentioned a brief process. We will look at it, and if there's a case for investigation, it will be investigated. But if the council feels that this complaint has no justification, it may be dismissed at that time. So, yeah, is that quite clear?
Yeah. Next, please. I presume the enforcement of this act is only acquire practicing certificate, right? Presently, there are many non-nutritionists. Well, we are just on the board right now.
Yeah, we specifically because of these non-qualified people, I don't know whether they're professionals or not, and they are talking about nutrition, promoting various products or practices in nutrition, but they're not properly qualified. So we do want to stop put a stop to such practices, and for the benefit of the consumer, for the benefit of the name of the profession. That's why it's very important. And all of us, this session is very specific. We hope to catch more private sector practitioners. So if you are in this group, your colleagues not here in other sectors, slimming centers, fitness centers, please do alert them. They can also still view this. We'll put up this slide on it's also YouTube. Yeah, I think people can still view the YouTube for some time, right?
Right. No, okay. Next, please. Working as a retail pharmacy, as a nutritionist dietitian. Bachelor in Dietetic and Masters of Science in do I need to register both? No, not
Not both at this time. I did
right.
answer that. It's not like Australia where nutritionist dietitian are very mixed together, or USA. So in this country, if you are graduated as a nutritionist, working as a nutrition field, you register as a nutritionist. If your basic degree is a dietetic, you register under the same AHP, but under a different category of dietitian. You cannot register for both.
Yeah. Thanks. Next, please. Doing a freelance in nutrition field, we have a nutrition degree which is not recognized by the council. We haven't employed by any company, but how are we going to go apply for practicing? First thing is registration first, right?
Yeah. I think Chikuma also mentioned that if you are not yet practicing, there is a escape clause there where you click you're not yet practicing, you will not need to submit a logbook for practicing and so on. Yeah. So you can avoid that path and go to if you're not yet practicing. So that is a good one. I think also I seek advice from Chikuma. There are many people, PhD, for example, just finished. How do they do? They don't have any practices experience yet. So that's how you advise us to inform the PhD. They all, after BSc, they straight went on to do masters and PhD, but they want to register because they are going to finish very soon. So they take on not yet practicing, so you can still go on and register. But in Chikuma also mentioned just now, yesterday also one member informed me that he could not use the tick of the escaping, that not practicing. So but he can contact us, contact BSKB. We can see what is the problem there and help to solve that problem. Yeah.
I just add on. They have been doing freelance as nutrition freelance, so that is considered practice. So if you can provide us evidence that what you're doing during the freelance thing, what are the things you've done, you can actually apply under grandfathering. But let's say you are not being practicing, you're not recognized, and then you want trying to register, you may not be able to register because one, you during the transition period, you need to prove you've been practicing. If you fail that, the second will come in, which is you must have the qualification recognized. If the both is not there, you are unable to register.
Sorry for interrupt. So for this question, I'm also a freelancer, but I have my degree pun recognized lah by the council. Cuma I banyak dalam massage therapist. Kita doing a confinement. So kita ada banyak educate client pasal meal plan, pasal breastfeeding.
Postnatal.
Yes. So if like my case, if I need to register for this nutritionist, as a ni lah, kena register juga tak untuk ni practice nutritionist?
Now your focus is on looking at postpartum mothers and so on. Surely you do other things, right? I will advise you to register. You can do many other things.
But the problem is untuk verifier tu. I macam tertanya-tanya, siapa yang nak verify my...
You are self-employed, is it? You're self-employed.
Yes, self-employed.
Itulah, you can look at the various alternative verifier. I mentioned one of them is President of NSM. You are a member, active member, and then you've been participating in activities. One of is that there are also other possible alternative verifiers, in Chikuma. There are possible other ways.
Any other registered nutrition, you can refer to them that you know them. They can verify for you.
Yeah.
Oh, so maybe sebab I pun ada colleague yang registered nutrition, so they can verify
Yes.
my job lah.
If let's say you are providing services to, let's say a doctor engage you and so on, so the doctor might know you are practicing nutrition. They can maybe dentist a bit far lah. Why we put dentist? Because we have dental technologies in the list. That's the reason why we put dentist, registered dentist. But if the dentist, it's up to you. All of them you can verify. Whether the dentist want to verify you, it's another story lah.
Yeah, and then when it comes to the committee, so the secretary may also query, kenapa dentist pula? And also want to make sure that you're asking your colleague to verify, maybe secretary may not accept that. So if you ask another person, let's say you give services to a doctor, which is a good example, then doctor can verify for you, or a more senior, but you must convince that practitioner that you have been practicing, and that person must be giving the truth, because he can be in trouble if he give false information verifying your practice.
So boleh
okay?
register dengan syarat you get the verifier tu daripada yang dah berdaftar ataupun kepada Persatuan Pemakanan Malaysia, as long as you are member of a Nutrition Society of Malaysia. We can assist you on that. Okay, next please. I know if I graduated from 2023. 2023 should be okay, right?
No, the one no, Dr. Mand.
Oh, yes.
How is it from 2022, 2023 intake? From 2022, 2023 intake. He graduated in 2023.
Okay.
So he didn't comply fully with the maybe
the requirement.
Yeah. So if this person has been practicing somewhere, he can be considered as fulfilling the industrial training part. It's not the end. So do apply and then put in whatever information you have on practicing, on taking additional courses and all that, I think the council is not going to shut out anyone who really has some experience and want to practice as a nutritionist. So do contact us after this. And give more information on what kind of things you have been doing. We can still see how we can assist in this case. Right.
Next. Sorry. Okay, now we're waiting for some.
Fatima, you have something? Sorry, Cekuma,
They said if for foreign certificate, okay, you actually can send your application to us manually, email to us your qualification, everything, then we will read through. So we're still having that process done. The official how to do it, everything will be issued later. But during the transition period, we still entertain. So the one that will put there, Yan Yi Choi, right? You can email us your qualification, and we will send to the committee to verify whether it can be registered or not. So then we will get back to you.
I'm a UCSI graduate, food science and nutrition, then took MSc clinical nutrition, practicing in nutrition and wellness after masters for 1 year, and I'm no longer working in the field, working in a pharma company as an engagement specialist. Always been keen to practice as a nutritionist, but I know I should register first. Do you think I'm fit to be a registered nutritionist? All right.
Then the committee will let you know.
Yeah. Submit first.
I think this here information is not enough for us to say yes or no, because we need details of that. That's why I emphasize on your job. Put information into the section A where they describe your job. Put in more effort into that, not simply 3 lines, and then you are at a disadvantage. Put information that can be verified. Put in more information, and then what you have been doing in the pharma company. Could be nutrition related, as engagement specialist, what is it that you've been doing? You've been doing some freelance advocacy work, put inside there, and then as much detailed information as possible. Then we can then see whether are you keen to practice a nutritionist or you are just want to register.
Okay, next. I am working as under marketing, but I still do some assessment, nutrition counseling. Can I apply? I have a degree in food science and nutrition, master's in nutrition research.
I
I
would
think the same thing, Dr. T.
Yeah, same advice.
Yeah.
You give more information on what you have been doing, because you cannot be doing full body composition nutrition all the time, right? So don't think for what you're doing now. Think of later, 5 years, 3 years, 10 years down the road. So if you really keen to do that, you should register and describe more clearly what you have been doing and even past experiences beyond this, beyond marketing.
Yeah. So whatever you do it before June. Registration.
Yes, food science and nutrition, you have to do before June.
Yeah. If not, after that, it's really hard to do anything. Next, please. I'm self-employed doing nutrition job scope now, already been certified as advisor certification, now further studying in professional degree in health and nutrition in local university, but not in the list. I only graduate for this professional degree in 2026. I don't know what professional degree.
What basic degree does this person have?
Yeah.
So a certified advisor, that is not a accepted degree. Doing nutritionist job scope and certified advisor certificate, doing my professional degree in health and nutrition. But Chikoma will say apply and then we'll look at it. But I think this one may have some problem. Yeah.
This is clearly, I think, just now I mentioned they are just doing certain things about nutrition and they go for short courses and allow them to practice. But I don't think so. They are not full-fledged. That's why you use advisor certification. So the advisor, you just advise, but nutrition, they have
beyond that.
Beyond that, yes.
So in Chekuma, remember in the council, we also raised the issue of there are various courses promoted by some organizations, 3 months course, 4 months course, and they give all kinds of certification. And then you can call yourself as a consultant, nutrition advisor. So I think BSKB has already written to those organizations that those courses cannot overpromise people about future. If those courses just intend to provide information to the people, that's okay. But you cannot promise that that person can call yourself as a consultant, nutrition expert, and advisor. That is illegal under the Majlis. So we also have to spread the word to all your colleagues and friends that those courses are not recognized.
So somebody say wanted to talk.
Can you?
Can I ask question? Oh, Gurdip call.
Hi.
Yeah.
I'm Gurdip here.
Yes, please.
I work as a food services manager in a hospital. And I've been in this field for about 20 years. I've got a bachelor's in nutrition. So can I start? And I do have SSM, all the relevant information. So I'll just apply online?
If you have qualification, you can apply. But when come to practicing, then we need to see whether you're practicing in the field or not. Maybe from what you're saying, I understand that you're still practicing as a nutrition outside the food service or within the food service.
Within the food service.
Then you just submit your job description, everything. Is your qualification listed in the
No,
list?
it's not in one of the 9 listed.
Okay. Then you can submit for grandfathering. We'll see the committee will evaluate.
Okay.
Because if you ask like this, it's very difficult for us to.
I will submit. I'll submit.
So it's up to you. If you want to practice, you are practicing, then you have the right to submit your application. We will vet through, and if you
Okay.
comply, then registration will be given.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next please. Kalau sudah tersubmit dokumen yang tidak disahkan, kena submit balik, bayar fee lagi. Okay, that's one I'll leave it to you.
Tak apa, this one I think genuinely some people make
Yeah.
mistake. I think this is a genuine mistake. You can email us to us. Tapi walaupun you dah submit, the moment kita check tak ada disahkan, automatic there will be a email shoot to you to upload dokumen yang disahkan.
Yeah.
Kalau belum terima lagi, sila email kami, nanti kami akan rectify.
Okay.
I think Puan Jamila ada letak nombor WhatsApp ataupun nombor email tu, my PC daftar. Sila hubung ke sana.
Tak payah bayar. Can you
So-
explain the differences between applying for practicing certificate and applying for approval for overseas qualification?
First is like this. Since now we only have Malaysian qualification that is recognized, we don't have overseas list. So in order for you to apply if you with the overseas, we cannot deny your application, but we will evaluate your qualification first, whether you fit, whether the qualification is fit to be considered as a nutritional course. Once the council, once the committee verify, we will bring that courses to the council to verify, and then once that process done, we will inform you to apply to the. If let's say it is endorsed, then you can apply. If let's say they find it is not a nutrition course, even though in the title you put nutrition or any other way, and then you are not eligible to register. Because different country have a different mechanism of putting up their program standard. So we can't fit to all the country. So we have a minimum standard which already in Malaysian standard for nutrition. So that will be our reference point, our benchmarking.
Thanks. Next, please. Try to register but my course is not listed. Okay, option required to clinical book.
Huh?
Clinical book. I don't know what clinical book.
Clinical, maybe clinical log lah, I think.
The logbook. Oh, okay.
Logbook lah.
Okay. Okay, currently working as a nutrition as a direct selling company. How do I register without having a clinical book? Okay, I graduated from UMT, Food Service and Nutrition. Okay.
This one a bit complex. I think we need to see more whether which year start practicing, what is actually doing in the direct selling company, what is the scope and everything. So if you wish to apply, you can apply under 46. You put all the documentation because you claimed as a nutritionist. So what is your scope nutritionist there? How long been there and evidence, any training you attended, everything. Then we will send to the committee to evaluate. But we can't promise you will get, it depends on your scope and also other document that you submit.
Yeah. As
So
what
here,
Dr. mentioned here, do not just line 2 line, 3 line. Please explain, explain detail what your tasks are.
I tried to register, but my course is not listed in the option. So go to the section 46, register under the transition category. The other option require me to have a clinical book. No, I don't know what is this clinical
The
book.
logbook, Dr. T, logbook. They wanted to give the logbook.
Oh.
Which is it's not in our side lah. They're not in the clinical side that we are. You just go to the section 46 course, and then because you're UMT graduate in food service and nutrition, you as Mr. Kumar mentioned, we are not sure how long you've been practicing, what you're doing inside that. You put out all the details and then submit. As he mentioned, the committee will go through and if they will decide. And the council will endorse it later on. Okay. Next. Can I register nutritionist to verify? That's what you already answered, right?
We already answered that.
Yeah. If I employ it and provided public talk and approve of application, can I use the PPT slide? What is this?
Self-employed.
Provided public talk.
You have to give the events that you give the talk, when was it, where was the event, organized by who. You give the PPT slide.
You cannot submit the PPT slide to us for us to read and vet through your PPT
No.
slide is correct or not. Please don't do that.
No, he wants to say that, yeah, I did give the talk now, but where is the event? We may get the organization to verify, this person give the talk, how many talks, and where other events that you give.
Okay, next. Okay, that's all. Any more else?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes.
I'm a graduate of food science and nutrition, and for many years ago, and previously I have a lot of experience in nutrition work. It's just that my job currently has nothing to do with nutrition, and I'm a school teacher at the moment. And after I listened to this session today, it's like I feel so disappointed because my passion is still in nutrition. And then I wanted to get myself registered, and if I were to work as a nutritionist in the future, then it would be helpful for me in this way. But after the July of this year, then I can't apply through my first degree anymore. But does it mean then what my effort I put in and the work I've and do in the past become in vain?
Okay, I understand your position. It's not you're putting, but can I ask very simple question? Did you practice before 1st of July 2020?
Yes, I graduated in 1999.
Okay.
Sorry,
So
I graduated in 2001.
Okay, you graduated in 2001. When you practicing as a nutritionist, how long?
In many years, I practiced in the diagnostic center, and I also practiced in a slimming center.
After your graduation or prior to graduation?
After my graduation.
After graduation, you graduate in 21st, is it?
Yes,
2001.
2001. And after that, I practiced as a nutritionist in 2003 until 2015.
Okay.
For many years.
So you are eligible for the transition period. So you can compile all let the committee decide whether they want to give based on what you have done so far. Because you have the experience doing it. If you have evidence, you can submit within the time frame.
Yes, I did.
The thing is, you have to understand, if there is a break in practice, then the council have the right to say no, or the council can deny. It's up to the council to depends on the
okay, I understand.
So you can apply. Nobody gonna stop you because you've been according to what you said, you've been practicing prior to 1st of July 2020. You are eligible for the section 46. You are eligible. You can submit, and we will see your documentation, and then let the committee decide on that.
Okay, thank you very
So
much.
I was just asking about the break of practice. So how long have you been a teacher, few years or?
He's already a teacher now.
I know how
yes,
long.
I am a school teacher. I'm still passionate in nutrition, and I still
understand.
And I am my full-time job is a teacher, and this is I've been teaching at least 8 years already.
8 years as a teacher. Yeah.
Yes, and in private, I still give health talk. I still give training.
Then those can be used.
Yes, you're still practicing. That means you are doing.
Yes, I'm still seeing my customers and still provide a nutritional advice and to improve the well-being, and still doing this with management. But it's just that I do not have my own registered private company. It's just I did it in private.
Yeah. I think, if you're still practicing in some ways, do submit your application, because if a person has already left for 8 years doing teaching, so that the committee the majlis may ask why. But you've been practicing, so if you can jot down some log, which events have you been talking to, which organization have you been working to, giving consultation, jot all those things down in the job scope there. It will be helpful. Yeah.
But I submitted already last month.
Then wait lah. Then wait. The processing.
What I mean, I submitted as my full-time job as a teacher, but instead of my own private practice in it's in a nutrition thing. That section I did not submit.
Yeah.
Okay. So what you can do, I can assist you since you are passionate about it.
Yes, I am.
Okay, you can email us your detail. You get the email detail. Then we will go back to your thing. We will revert back to you. Then you can upload whatever document necessary that you think. Is it fine?
So am I going to provide a list of summaries of what I've been doing in private?
You prepare all the evidence that can vouch for you as a nutrition practitioner.
What kind of evidence is it?
Whatever you're doing now, what you mentioned just now.
Like I mentioned just now, if you be giving talks to some organization, list the organization. If you can remember the dates, is even better. Give talks to which organization, or speak to what groups. Is it senior citizen group, whatever group. Jot all those things down. That's why I always emphasize, don't just put in a few lines and then submit in the job scope there. Extremely important for the community understand this applicant's job scope. So it may not be apparently important to the applicant, but for the committee to evaluate, especially Section 46, you need that.
Okay.
And which email should I send to?
I think Puan Jamila put inside the chat.
Okay. MAPC Daftar. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Thank you very much.
Those 5 ready. We got a few more questions to answer.
Oh.
All right. Acquiring a website policy on data.
I'm inquiring about the website policy on document upload. If after submitting an application, we need to make changes to any upload. So I understand the editing may not allow directly on the website after the application is submitted. Should we wait for the answer? Okay. You can email us whatever you want to upload. You can email us a documentation, ask us to revert back and so on. But you put all this query in proper in email so that we can address it. Because if you're like this, I need to open your account and need to see inside what is the problem and what you need to apply, whether it need to allow you to resubmit again and so on. So it will be a bit detailed work. So please email us. Then we will reply your email.
Thank you. Next, check if currently regulatory affair in one of the private food MNC, mainly providing advice on healthy choice, sugar tax implementation, sugar, sodium reduction, and holding a BSc Food Science and Nutrition in UMS from back in 2014 to 2016. Was a Pegawai Sains Pemakanan.
Pegawai Sains Pemakanan.
He was dulu. Yeah.
So that means the government already endorsed ahli pemakanan.
Yeah.
Apply lah. You still have 5 months to go. You apply.
Yeah.
So here you are regulatory affairs officer. You're looking at the product mainly on. Most of these are applicable to a nutrition job.
Yeah.
Why do you have doubt? So mention all this in your job scope, and you are looking into APAC in the APAC region. Yeah, I think you should explain all this in your application job scope, and of course put in your previously Pegawai Science experience. All those would be helpful. Then apply. Why not? Yeah.
What is a timeline application submission? We can't answer that.
For the approval, we are trying our best to accommodate, because you have to understand, for the private sector, we have 16 type of profession applying. and most of them don't have a qualification in the field, so everything need to go to the committee. So to go for the committee, each documentation, compilation, everything need to be done and sent. So it will take a bit of time. Don't worry, because once you submit your application, you are within the law, saying that you already applied to the council before the end of the transition period. So you're eligible, still can continue. After the date only you cannot apply. Okay, so once you put out the application, the delay is from us, don't worry, you are still eligible.
Yeah. So your duty is submit first. That's all the last question. Any more other questions coming out from anywhere?
Doctor, I saw many legal questions. I think legal matter things they need to put in writing and send to us, whether we will see whether it's the jurisdiction. Because when you ask legal question to us, we will send to our legal advisor to advise.
Yeah.
The thing is, you have to understand, the council interpret the law, the legal advisor interpreted the law, the MOH will interpret the law, and finally the ultimatum is within the judge if, let's say, the case goes to the court or any dispute or so on. When you interpret the law from your opinion, it's just your opinion. So you may not interpret it correctly, or maybe you interpret it differently based on your experience in other countries. So therefore, to get proper view, you should send in your doubt, then we will try to rectify it. Okay?
One question here, I got a master's in nutrition from US and my institution is not listed in the list. If it's not listed in the 9, go to section 46. Don't go and get MQA and all that. So it will be a terrible nightmare for you. So just go to section 46. What was it that you, and your scope of practice, if you're still practicing that. If you are from one of the 9 recognized university, but you are not practicing as a nutritionist, don't register.
Yeah.
But if you want to practice if on 9, you can register. Yeah. If you think you still want to register to practice, yes, please do register. But if you already made up your mind that you're not going to, nobody forced you to register. If you don't want to practice, if you want to practice in nutrition, mandatory that you register. Otherwise, very serious legal problem.
I think we have to take a step. It's 5:06 already. I promise that we'll try to finish by 5. I know it's many questions and everything. Please, there is an email. Drop an email directly to the secretariat, or if you have any other questions pertaining to the registration, do send an email. That's already posted here. So please email them and get things done. I'm sure give some time. As Mr. Kumar said, 16 profession. This is one profession. We are talking for more than 2 hours. Imagine 16 profession. They have to think different ways of answering and different question to be answered. So we don't have assigned one person only for nutrition per se. So give time. It's a government. We need time to vet through and understand, and then they will get back to you. And in the meantime, if you are qualified but you are not in the recognized university, you want to contribute to nutrition this thing, please do join Nutrition Society of Malaysia. Get more details there. Go to the website. We have all the details there as well. And drop an email if you need more further information on the registration. We will try to answer. And I say we are not sitting and watching everything there, but it takes some time to reply back and get back to your answer, because it's not one place. We have to ask a few places to get the right answer to submit and give you a proper advice or guidance on this. So with that, I thank all take the opportunity to thank Dr. T, Mr. Kumar, who rushed all the way from Laka, and also from Fatima, still sitting in Putrajaya in the office there. And thank you so much for giving the nutritionist registration procedures, as well as a guidance how to make things work and get things done. So please do get all these numbers And then if you have any pertaining questions on this, do drop us an email. We'll try to answer you. With that, thank you very much again to all the panelists for taking this Friday afternoon to answer all many questions. We tried our level best to answer. Thank you very much, everyone, and good day. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. T. Thank you, Kumar. And Puan Jamila in the working behind the
Yeah.
Thank
You've
you.
been setting up, helping me set up everything. I came, everything was ready.
Yeah.
I have to text her to control your presentation. I
So
know
I
it's
think
time.
So much. Thank you, Dr. T.
if there are people who not in this briefing session, please share with your friends,
Yeah.
the YouTube, and also, yeah, go to NSM website. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. Have a
you.
good weekend. Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Puan. Thank you.
Janice. Thank you, Janice. And
Yeah, Janice.
Dr. Chin,
Shah, Lilo, Fazlina.
Puan Fatima.
Yeah.
Lilo, Azliana,
Azliano still
All
there.
Puan Azliana.
Mira,
All are
Yeah.
working many days on this.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Oh. We will stop, yeah?